Welcome, my dear viewers, to this live podcast. As usual, my name is Paul Mwangi Kebicho, and I happen to be a person who discusses matters across a broad spectrum of issues. And today, I thought it was good or wise for me to talk about leaders taking us for granted. Any leader who takes Kenyans for granted in 21st century is completely mistaken. We do not require to be told what will be done or what has been done. If a load has been made, it is all of us to see, not a leader telling us. We are the consumers of the services being offered by the leaders. May it be the president, the governor, or those other leaders who've been called upon to serve us. It is quite unfortunate that we have been taken for granted for quite a long time. We have been promised what we call stadiums. We've been promised what we call water. We've been promised what we call electricity. We've been promised so many things by the leaders. But unfortunately, all that has been the promises that have never been fulfilled. We were told about the many stadiums. We were told that so many things have been told to us as Kenyans. It is time that leaders kept quiet and they stopped taking our intellectual capacity and ability for granted. I'm speaking on behalf of many Kenyans because not all Kenyans have got this particular platform or forum. When somebody tells us that, for instance, SHA is working, we do not require the leader to tell us that SHA is working. It is me as the patient, as the consumer of that particular service, who knows whether it is working or not. Anybody coming with a contrary opinion to that is actually completely mistaken. We have been taken for granted for far too long. So Kenyans are no longer the Kenyans of 1950s, 1960s. Kenyans are wise enough. And I want to call upon all Kenyans before I go to my main points. I'm calling upon all Kenyans. If you're a Kenyan who can be able to say something and people hear, it is quite unfortunate that many Kenyans, they just keep quiet, even when things are going haywire. It is quite unfortunate, more so those people that we refer to as the elites. Most of the times, they don't even participate in what we call elections. And those are the people who produce the bad characters that we have. We cannot continually complain the same way. And one person called, and I have been talking about this gentleman for the longest time, I've even lost count. Albert Einstein said that the greatest form of madness is doing the same thing, same way, year in, year out, expecting different results. We need to look at the calibers of leaders that we have, and we need to validate these leaders. God has given us the opportunity to change and, of course, to evaluate and, of course, give what we call a report on the leaders that we have. And if they have not worked, why should you try somebody who has been given an opportunity but has not delivered anything? We do not have shortage of leaders. And I have said this one many times. Kenya has got so many competent, skilled, professionally trained men and women who can serve this nation and propel it to the levels the president has been talking about. I can tell you for sure, talking is good, but it is actions that will take us to the promised land. If you can be able to tame corruption, Kenya is blessed by God in a very momentous way. We are purely blessed. God has blessed us. But the question is, are our resources being used in the right way? We can comfortably say no. Every time we hear about scandals, even when I was a young man, I heard about the golden bag scandal. I have heard about what we call the chicken gate scandal. There are so many scandals that have riddled this nation. And the most unfortunate thing that pains many Kenyans like me is the fact that those people who have stolen from the public coffers, they are still walking scot-free. Yet we have institutions that have been formed through constitutional offices that have been given budget to work on those people who have actually made Kenyans to suffer the way they are suffering. And the question is, now that we have what we call a destiny with this particular leadership, come 2027 on 10th August, God willing. The question is, will we still continually have the same people? It pains me to see somebody who was a minister when I was in high school is still a minister in the year 2025. And I wonder if when I was in high school, still struggling, reading books and trying to organize my faculties in order to secure a job is still serving, then I can tell you for sure I'll serve in the grave if you have got what we call special functions in the grave. Because how can somebody still serve today? When I was in Form 2, Form 3, the person was still serving as a minister. I have not seen any monumental or any job that he did that warranted him to be retained in the government. apart from what we call the political legitimate expectations. So I've come to ask you, Kenyans, please watching me from wherever you are. And this information, thank you very much, those giving me likes on my TikTok page. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you, those people watching me on my YouTube channel and those watching me on my Facebook page. Kindly continually subscribe so that we can walk together in this journey. So I want first of all to give you what we call 10 criteria to gauge a good and excellent productive leader. Because some of our leaders are not productive at all. Do you know that we have an MP who has never given a maiden speech in parliament, yet he draws money from the public coffers? So what was he elected to be, the silent listener in parliament? How is he representing his people? And let me tell you, those people who talk about education in a bad way, they are my enemies number one. Nobody can come and tell me that you do not require education to go to parliament. How will you interpret the bills? How will you understand what is first reading, second reading, committee stage, that reading? How will you understand that? Who will be interpreting this one for you? And I'm so disappointed with some of us people out there who vote leaders based on how popular they are without considering what we call the gray matter, because it is the gray matter that converts what we call dreams into the reality. It is the gray matter that will make those people to come up with bad policies, good policies, and they do away with bad policies, and we benefit all of us. So when somebody says that education does not matter, it pains me to the core. So I want to give you, so that when time comes in the year 2027 for us to vote, we shall not be propelled by how much money we shall be given by those leaders. And the question is this: if a leader is good, I'll just ask like one politician who posted this question, and it made a lot of sense to me. If a leader is a good leader, the voters will know that he's a good leader. So why bribe? And of course, bribing is actually illegal in the Constitution according to IBC Act. You should not go bribing voters. They should voluntarily give us the leader that they think will be able to meet their aspirations. How come that we have bribing? How come that people are now trying to realign themselves based on the amount of money that is coming from the sources that are not mentioned up to this time? So this is quite unfortunate. It pains me. So 10 indicators of a productive leader. Number one, this leader must have a vision. Because we normally say, if you do not know where you are going, any road will take you there. So we need a leader with a vision. And remember, this vision is quantifiable. When you say you'll build loads, there is no way. Every money that is spent in the Republic of Kenya the funds must be appropriated. We have parliament, we have the National Assembly, whose duty is to ensure that these resources are properly distributed. I am looking forward to a day when Kenya will have a president who will not be politically inclined, who will not have a political party. Because any leader with a political party, that leader will be looking for is trying to buy as many people as possible so that his policies can pass through parliament, his bills can pass through parliament. That is not a leader that we require. We do not require, this presidential system is terrible. I look forward to a day when Kenya will be run by a manager. What do I mean by a manager? Somebody who shall not have a party. Because when you have a party, you are trying to actually look for loyalty from the people who will be subscribing to your party policies and manifesto. We require a leader who is a manager. We require a leader. Like, for instance, if I talk about Safaricom and I talk about Mr. Dego has got no political inclination. His duty is to deliver. He has been given the mandate by the board to be the CEO of that particular organization. So he has the mandate, and therefore what he's working towards is achieving the goals and, of course, the objectives of the organization as prescribed by what we call the board of directors. So here, when we put our leader through a political party, his political affiliation will be actually biased, because any region that has actually elected leaders on a different party will be sidelined, obviously. And that does not help this nation at all. So we require a leader with a vision and strategic direction. A leader who clearly articulates what we call long-term goals and aligns policies or actions towards sustainable progress. That is the kind of a leader that we want. So when you go to vote in the year 2027, look for a leader who has a vision and a strategy to propel your constituency from the level it is to another level. A man or a woman of integrity and accountability who has demonstrated honesty. Please, Kenyans, note this. Sometimes we put leaders in those positions when we know for sure they have got court cases because of corruption. What else do you expect? If at all have been taken through the corridors of justice because of corruption, there is no distinction between. Now, how do you distinguish the character and the integrity and accountability on an individual whose head start is corruption? You don't expect anything to come from that particular leader. He's not a good, any leader who has got a corruption case in the Republic of Kenya should not be given an office. Unfortunately, in Kenya, those people who have stolen public money are the ones that we vote them in, quite, and to go and protect whatever they stole at the expense of our development. So we require a leader full of integrity and accountability, a leader who has demonstrated honesty, transparency, and takes responsibility for both successes and failures. I'm telling you, that is the only leader who can transform this Kenya. All those other stories will take us nowhere. I can tell you at a confidence level of 99.9999% that talking will not transform the Republic of Kenya. Talking alone, we must walk the talk. If it is corruption, all those people who have been implicated in corrupt deals should be behind the bus. That should be the thing. If not doing what the former president of Ghana, Gerald Rawlings, did, have those people eliminated from the community because they are a total liability for the republic. So we require a leader, a man or a woman of integrity and accountability. Somebody who has got no black spots in his white garment. We require a leader who is an effective communicator, who balances reminding people of achievements with listening to citizens' concerns and explaining future plans. Somebody who is an effective communicator. Somebody who will not sweet coat a bitter pill because in the final analysis, it will remain bitter. We do not want somebody who is put into power because of his or her oratory skills. Oratory skills will not transform the Republic of Kenya. I'm telling you that for a fact. I can be a very good orator, but the question is, am I able to convert my oratory skills into what we call quantifiable results? We do not want to recognize leaders through their activities. We require to recognize our leaders through the results. So if a leader has been in that particular position and he has not delivered, what business do we have retaining him in that particular post? Are you telling me again we have shortage of leaders? It is the high time even the constitution bad those people who have been serving this, who have served the government for more than maybe 5 years, just like we talk about the 2-term. The constitution talks of course 1 term, but a maximum of 2 terms. Nobody should confuse me for that. So what I'm talking about here, if a leader has served this Republic of Kenya for a period of 7 years, he should give way. He should pave way for other leaders and let us test other leaders. The new brooms always sweep better than the old brooms. Whoever came up with that particular proverb was not mad. He was not intoxicated. He actually gave facts as they ought to be. And facts and figures are very brutal. So we have leaders right now serving us who are clueless, who are rudderless. Their business is only to collect salaries and they go pleasing their families and their girlfriends and whoever they have. So we require a leader who is decisive, a leader and who is a problem solver. We require a leader who is decisive, somebody who can be able to make a decision. We have some leaders who suffer from what we call indecisiveness. They cannot make any decision. Even from their record, from the school they went, they have no track record at all. Those are not the kind of leaders that we need. We need leaders who are decisive and who can be able to solve problems, who makes timely, well-considered decisions, especially in crisis, and adapts to changing circumstances. We do not want bootlickers. We do not want sycophants. Sycophants in Kenya are all over. And I'm telling you, most of the leaders that we have today, their clarion call is only one. What is it innate for me, not for the people that he has been called to serve. Quite unfortunate. In other jurisdictions, even when a train delays from the railway line, they resign. In Kenya, you have had leaders say, I better die than resign. You have seen what has been happening in the diplomatic space. We are still quiet, even when our people are being tortured in other jurisdictions. Yet we have a foreign affairs ministry, and we have somebody holding that particular docket. How else can we judge an individual when crises are there and they can't offer solutions? Why are we still having those individuals occupying those offices when they cannot deliver the mandate they were given by the appointing authority? Why should we be so much politically inclined that I can even mess up with government policies so that I can be able to secure the people, because I have got what we call a population, or I've got my followers in a particular political party, and the appointing authority still wants those particular individuals. We can do away with him and still maintain what we call that particular population. So we require what we call a leader who is decisive, and one who is a problem solver, who makes timely, well-considered decisions, ensures, and of course, especially in crisis, and adapts to what we call changing circumstances. We want a leader who understands what is empowerment and inclusivity. A leader who understands what is empowerment. You do not just empower a group of men and women where we have a population of 100 million. 100,000 people. Surely, if you empower Kebisho and another 5, 10 men, have you empowered the community? You have not empowered the community. Empowerment should mean, for instance, if you dig a borehole in a given place, you have empowered those people because they can be able to use that water to irrigate. But you do not come empowering people with 50,000 shillings, a group of 50 women, a group of 10 men, a group of 20 young ladies, and you say you are doing empowerment. That is not empowerment unless you went to a bush school. That's not empowerment. Empowerment in the political space is anything that helps the bigger good, the bigger number. Meaning that you are supporting what we call the bigger population. In this case, what you are doing, you are helping the majority in a given place. But when you take as a group of individuals and you say you are calling it empowerment, that is not empowerment. We don't term that one as empowerment. That is what we call skewed empowerment. Skewed empowerment means you are trying to identify some influencers in a given area and you term it as empowerment, but with a hidden agenda. The hidden agenda is that you're going to convert that group of people that you empowered to convert them into your agents. People will be doing your campaigns. We are wise. We are not fools. We understand. And please don't. People should not stop praying aloud with your integrity. So empowerment and inclusivity builds. Listen to this. Anybody who talks of empowerment should build institutions because personalities go, but institutions remain. Like what Kebake did, he built Thika Road. Does not matter what other regions are saying. That road helps everybody. If you come from Kisumu and your daughter is married in Embu, won't you use the same road? If, for instance, your daughter is going to Embu University or Meru University, you hear some people arguing in a very narrow route. Sometimes you feel bad and you pity those individuals. So we want people, empowerment is building institutions, not creating a kind of what we call a personality kind of an environment or like a cool. We talk about building institutions that empower others, not just a group of people. You cannot use a group of people and talk about empowerment. That is not empowerment. That's what I'm saying. That is not empowerment. We are saying ensures diverse voices are heard and promotes equity. So when you empower a group of 200 women in a place where you have got more than 15,000 women, aren't you trying to create chaos in the guise of trying to actually use some individuals to come to your side? We want somebody who is consistency and somebody who knows how to deliver. Some people are just trying to reach out to me, and since I'm not in a position, you allow me to. So, delivery follows through. We want somebody consistency in delivery, follows through on promises with measurable results. Somebody who follows through on the promises made. We do not just want somebody who gives hot air, who only comes and promises on top of other promises, but there is no what we call quantifiable results. We want somebody who promises with measurable results, not just rhetoric. Kenyans are tired of what we call rhetorics. Rhetorics, we are being, anyway, let me not say this, but I'm telling you, Joan, I'm not a politician. If you need to be guided, Joan, I'm not a politician. You are losing it out of turning out to be a politician. Am I a politician, Borojoan? I think you are misguided anyway, but we appreciate. You need first of all to listen to what I'm talking about before you contribute. Sometimes that is why we say that you need to ensure that your mental faculties are fully engaged before you. People, anyways, let me not go there. So we want somebody, not here. I'm not talking about, for those people who may mistake me like that person, I'm not looking for any votes. I'm comfortable the way I am. I have not even declared any political post. And if I have to do that, that is my personal decision. I do not have in any way jeopardize any other person's ambition. We have freedom of expression, and you can actually decide which position you want to occupy in this political space. So we want a leader, and I think sometimes I'll be looking for a moderator who can be trying to ensure that we see what is not in line with the topic of the subject of the day or Monday. So we want a leader who is innovative and adaptable, one who encourages new ideas. Nobody has monopoly of ideas. We want a leader. We want a leader who is open to ideas, new ideas, somebody who embraces technology and adjusts strategies to global and local shifts. We want a leader who is a good resource manager. A good leader who is a good resource manager, or somebody who has got what we call resource management skills, who uses public resources efficiently, not actually to enrich himself or herself. So I hope Joanna, as you listen, you'll be able now to align yourself with our discussion. Somebody who uses public resources efficiently, ensuring value for money, and minimizing corruption or waste. That's the leader that we are looking for. We want a leader who has got what we call impact measurement tracks, outcomes in terms of economic growth, in terms of social welfare, in terms of environmental sustainability, rather than just activities. I said we do not recognize activities, we recognize results. We want a leader who is looking forward to a good legacy, which is sustainable and focuses on reforms. Oh, a leader who focuses on reforms where needed, and one who focuses on reforms, institutions that endure beyond their tenure, ensure continuity of progress. It is quite unfortunate we have seen some leaders who go, like an MP has been elected. There was a market that was like, you can remember, for those people whose memories as steady as mine, we were told, it was in the newspapers the other day, that somewhere in Delaware, there are 4 markets being built. So every MP who comes starts building a market. If he doesn't capture his seat, another MP who comes because he wants to leave a legacy, he now uses other resources. Instead of completing the project that was started by the predecessor, he comes and starts a new. It is happening all over. It is rampant in Kenya. Wastage of public resources, and you know how constrained resources are. So we are talking about somebody who will leave what we call a sustainable legacy, and who will go beyond their tenure and ensure continuity of progress. A truly excellent leader does not do things. They create systems that keep working even after they are gone. Oh, look at what Kibaki had done. Actually, Kibaki worked on institutions. And if your memory serves you well, the Kenyan population had even decided to be watchdogs. They could see a police officer taking what we call a bribe, and they could stop that police officer from taking a bribe. Those are you can imagine, Kibaki said, kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea. But one thing that discourages Kenyans from paying even taxes is this aspect of what we call high magnitude corruption cases. That you hear 50 billion has gone into waste. You hear we have what we call Kamalol Dam, where 250 billion is gone. You hear about, I think, another dam that was being put, I think that was supposed to be built, corruption. You hear what we call about kickbacks. So we want leaders who are clean. We want leaders who are not known to be in the EACC ladder. We would not want leaders who are prone to corruption. And I can tell you this for sure. We do not want leaders who are very old managing the matters of the youth. You cannot be an octogenarian and you're handling matters CBE. Your time is up. Now manage your retirement, not managing the affairs of young parents. They are the ones we require. A young leader who can be able to align himself with the needs of the young parents that he is leading. If it is actually a matters education, we want somebody who is an educationist, who went through the education process properly, not through shortcuts. I'm not going to explain that for obvious reasons. If somebody is actually, if you are going to have somebody being given the docket of Minister for Foreign Affairs, we want somebody who has got what we call orientation in that particular field, somebody who has done a degree which is close, a discipline in that particular area, not because of political association. And if we can do that, Kenya can be transformed into what we call a first world. But unless we change the current crop of leadership that we have, Kenya will remain even a worse third world country. Leadership is responsibility. Leadership is actually shelving your ambitions and reducing the insatiable appetite for growing wealth overnight and start serving people. Because by the end of the day, even if you stole all the money that this nation had, your days in this universe are still numbered. We say, God help us to know how to count the number of days. So I would urge all those people who watch my podcasts, if you are aspiring to become a leader, make sure that you have got no corruption element in your life philosophy. And I'm urging all those people to be voting in the year 2027. Let us use what is between our 2 years. Let us not be driven by what we call short-term benefits. Let us be men and women who looks forward to what we call a nation that works, where we can have a 24-hour economy, where we can have roads built all over the Republic of Kenya because we all pay taxes without minding whether you are related to the president, the party that he is leading, because we all pay taxes. We do not want to have MPs who are aligned, who continually say that in order for them to get development, they must be aligned to the president. The president, by the way, is only there to oversee. We have what we call institutions, Commission for Revenue Allocation. we have what we refer to as the formula that should be used. And let me tell you this, it pains me to see that the leaders that we put into power do not listen the way we do. Because surely the only way to make this nation grow and develop, how can you justify why Northeastern has been left behind? And again, I also pose this question. We also require accountability in the funds given to our leaders. I saw the other day a school in one of the constituencies that are not mentioned, where the leader is an auditor. When it comes to parliamentary bills and what have you, he's so good. He's a lawyer. He speaks nice English. He speaks what we call the Queen's English. I can tell you, he's so fluent. His grammar is at another level. But when I found the kind of classes in his constituency, I could not compare him with that kind of a background where pupils go to a school which is mad ward, where pupils go to a school where they sit under a tree in 21st century, yet we are claiming to have what we call national government CDF, Constituency Development Fund. Surely, these people, they receive that money. Why haven't they given those issues a priority? And then we call them leaders. What kind of leaders are they anyway? Do they deserve to be called leaders? It hurts. Hebu tafakari hayo. I'll be coming back shortly with another topic. I'm tired of talking about this kind of leaders that we have. But anyway, it's up to you, Kenyans. You have been given a forum and a chance to put the leaders that you need. If you are still comfortable with the mediocrity, proceed. Life is a matter of choice.